But let's get into the Tottenham update. A bit of breaking news for you, which we'll get into in a bit, but we're going to start off with the injury update. Paul O'Keefe said yesterday that Richarlison is on track to be included in the squad for the derby, as well as Ben Davies is close but not certain. We have heard from Ange Postecoglou since then in the press conference. He says Timo Werner is out with a hamstring injury, and we've got an update on Timo Werner in a minute. So I wonder if it's something to do with that, or he actually has picked up an injury. And he says Richarlison will be in the squad, and from what I'm hearing, Ben Davies will be in the squad, but unsure whether he'll be fit enough to start.
Yeah, and if that's the case, if he's not 100%, we've already rushed some centre-backs back already and paid the price for it. So I think it's best, especially with Gray and Dragusin definitely improving in recent weeks. I think ever since that 6-3 against Forest, I think they've definitely built a much better partnership. Maybe that game was a bit of a turning point for those two in terms of how they were performing at centre-back, because I think our defensive structure has been a lot better since that 6-3 against Liverpool, and it's culminated in getting that clean sheet against Liverpool last week. So I think Gray and Dragusin, I'm not as nervous going into the game with those two as I would have been a couple of weeks ago. So I think that's the right decision. With Timo Werner, is he really injured? Is he just being pulled out of the squad? We'll discuss that a bit later. But if it is another hamstring injury, which he did say it's a hamstring, so I don't think there's any reason to go into specifics if he's not actually injured.
We have heard though, like before, like players pull out like that, and they do give specific injuries where he's got a back problem, he's got an ankle problem. So maybe just a hamstring one's just an easy one to go to.
Potentially. I
think he's injured, to be fair.
Yeah, maybe he is injured, which maybe could scupper a move. He actually is injured, but obviously there's less options, but also could force Ange to turn to Mikey Moore, as opposed to if Werner's available, he might say off the bench, I'll go for Werner off the bench. Now he might say I might go for Mikey Moore, which could be a positive. And Richarlison being back is, I think, for the derby could be really perfect timing for him, because it's just the kind of fixture we know he gets up for. We know he's going to be a pest if he gets on the pitch. So, and hopefully we can start giving Solanke a rest now at that point. So really great timing that Richarlison's back. Let's hope he stays fit.
Yeah, absolutely. Regarding Will Lankshear, Andrew's also speaking about him in the press conference, and he says, we can't afford to let players go, but there could be some young ones like Alfie Dorrington has gone out on loan, and young Will Lankshear could do as well. We've all been scratching our heads why Will Lankshear hasn't got more game time than he has done. You know, particularly at the game against Tamworth, you really expected Lankshear to get some sort of game time. He didn't get on the pitch at all. So, yeah, he got that start at Galatasaray, scored a goal, got sent off, and then we've barely seen him since. So I think a loan move definitely should be in the offing for him, because he's just not getting any sort of game time here.
Yeah, I think that, especially with Richarlison back now, and also the rumours of Spurs looking for another forward player, I think that's the right course of action. I think I've personally been fairly impressed with what I've seen from him when he has taken the pitch, but unfortunately it just hasn't been enough time, and I don't know why. Ange hasn't given him more game time, and I would like to have seen him more, considering he's already got on the score sheet this season, given the limited game time. As a 19-year-old, I think that is impressive. But as well, I think if he gets a loan move to develop himself, hopefully in the Championship, I think that hopefully that's kind of his level. Then I'm really excited to see how he does, because imagine if he goes out on loan and starts banging goals, it'd be a really exciting prospect for next season.
Do you think maybe someone like Bournemouth could work for Bournemouth?
Well, I don't know if he's ready to be starting week in, week out in the Premier League. But I mean, if Bournemouth were to take a punt on him, I'd be really intrigued by that. Really intrigued. I don't think they will. I think they're more likely to go for someone like an Evan Ferguson or maybe a more established striker around Europe. But if they were to go for Will Lankshear, that would be a really interesting prospect.
I mean, him and Evan Ferguson are pretty much the same age, aren't they?
They are, but obviously Evan Ferguson's played a hell of a lot more Premier League football.
Yeah, that's also true. Let's move on. Let's talk about Timo Werner now, as Damasio says that Napoli are now looking for Kvaratskhelia Kvaratskhelia replacement, with Garnacho and Timo Werner both on the list. Napoli have held talks for Timo Werner. A possible deal could be unlocked after the North London derby. At that point, there could be the green light. Jack Pittbrook does follow on and says Timo Werner's Tottenham loan will not be cut short. And now this injury, I mean, they do say after the North London derby. Well, obviously, he's out the North London derby anyway.
Mm-hmm. Well, so it said the loan will not be cut short.
That's what Jack Pittbrook says.
Oh, Jack Pittbrook. Yeah, I do. Look, we'll have to wait and see about this injury, whether it's convenient timing, considering these reports are starting to filter through, or is he genuinely injured? I guess we'll have to wait. Because I remember he did also say Dyer was injured before he moved to Bayern. I remember that clearly. But then he also said, some journalist questioned him, and he said, "Don't question my integrity," with that famous press conference. So whether he genuinely is injured, I guess remains to be seen. Hopefully, it's a precursor to a move, but I wonder if we are signing. I wonder if there's a bit of dominoes in effect here. Are we waiting to sign someone before we let him go? Are we waiting to let him go before we sign someone? Are we doing it irrelevant, and maybe he could be left out of the Europe squad if we do sign a player when the European football comes around, which I think wouldn't have to happen because we know our problems with the squad. If one comes in, someone's going to have to go out. So if he is going to be out of the European squad, maybe they're thinking we're better off just getting rid of him. I think if we can get rid of him, we will. And obviously, if Conte comes to the rescue, that'll be brilliant. And I see a lot of people praising Antonio Conte. We're after this news saying he's our best ever manager, Conte to the rescue. Let's hope it is true, because that could. I honestly think if we can make room for another forward and it relies on Timo leaving, that could really be a massive thing in our season.
I guarantee you there is no chance Antonio Conte is going to be in favour for this transfer.
Why?
Timo Werner for Kavica. Are you joking?
I'm not saying just him, but why he could be part of the replacement.
Oh, come on, man! If you are replacing Timo Werner for Kavica, you are. I mean, can you imagine if we did that? How fuming would you be?
Yeah, of course, but I don't know if he's the only forward they're after. They're getting 70 million for Kavica. If they're getting Werner for cheap, maybe he's just part of the replacement. I do think actually Werner would suit Conte ball a lot more than how he suits Ange ball, in my opinion, in terms of how they play in the transition.
Werner does not suit any ball. He can't cross, or he can barely cross, and he can't put the ball in the back of the net.
Away the game?
It's ridiculous. I'm telling you, if this happens,
it's a great buy for Napoli.
It's unbelievable. It's an unbelievable buy. But if this happens, Conte's probably going to walk. He's going to do another one of those press conference saying this club. Conte would hate this transfer.
Maybe. I don't know what's in his head, but obviously he didn't have him at Chelsea, did he? I think he was gone by then. I genuinely do think he would suit how Napoli play a bit more than us, and maybe a change of scenery. Look, we've said all these things before he signed, and he didn't work out at Tottenham at all. So I'm not saying it'll be a good thing for Napoli, but I just want him gone. I want him out off the books, and hopefully Napoli can take him off our hands. And I do think if he's part of the replacement, obviously if he's the genuine 1-1v1 replacement for Kavica, then I don't think Conte will be in favour of it. But if it's him plus another one who they spend quite a bit of money on, I'm sure that's something he can handle, because they're going to need some forward players through the door if and when Kavica leaves. So we'll have to see if there is any legs to it, and if he is genuinely injured, or is this the precursor to a move. Let's hope. And let's hope once this happens, we can really push the boat out on a full player of our own, because we need to get one through the door sooner rather than later.
And we'll be talking about that particular forward player in just a moment. Jack Pickbrook also said that there is no prospect of Richarlison leaving this month. I mean, I guess that's no surprise to anyone.
No, I think from Richarlison's side, I don't think he wants to leave. As I said before, I think he's confident he can turn his Tottenham career around and make a success of it. From our point of view, he's only just got back fit. He's not injured anymore. So I think from Tottenham's point of view, we need him. And we know when he's fit, he can provide a very valuable asset to us. So I don't see either side wanting to sell in January, to be honest.
And the next rumour we're going to talk about is one of those rumours that we know is just never going to happen, and Spurs won't even look to entertain it. But Villages are reporting that Real Madrid are lining up a bid to sign Archie Gray after the 18-year-old has impressed as an emergency centre-back at Tottenham this season. I mean, if Real Madrid are seriously interested in Gray, they can literally dream on.
So I'm really... I mean, Villages is just the worst.
You love Villages.
Oh, I love it. I love the nonsense they spat out. I can give me a good chuckle, but they just spat out so much nonsense.
Where do they get these things from? Seriously,
they just make it up. I don't know if I swear a few days ago they were reporting that Kinski's learning Spanish. Because Madrid are interested. So I think this whole thing is just nonsense. But yeah, no chance we're letting Gray go. No chance. I wouldn't be surprised if they're looking at Gray as if like maybe in like 2-3 years' time, if he continues on this trajectory, maybe we'll go in for him. But there's no chance in the near future that Gray's going anywhere.
Exactly. Real Madrid, you can go and do one. You ain't getting your grubby hands on our Archie Gray. Now, let's talk about the man on everyone's lips at the moment, and that is Randall Kolo Muani. As Fabrizio Romano said yesterday, that Juventus and Tottenham have both made contact again with PSG for Randall Kolo Muani. PSG are still insisting on their conditions, but Muani will 100% leave in this January transfer window. Then, L'Equipe said Juventus do not have the funds to cover Muani's salary in full. A loan with a mandatory purchase has been ruled out. The player was open to the move. Tottenham are active and held talks with PSG, with Daniel Levy having an excellent relationship with Nasser Al-Khelaifi. The prospect of joining the Premier League seduces Kolo Muani. And then later on today, L'Equipe followed on from that and says that Spurs have now made a loan offer with a non-obligatory purchase option for Randall Kolo Muani. Juventus is also interested. PSG is waiting to assess all offers before making a decision. So
they also said that Juve are struggling with the funds.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah. So if that's the case, then we should be in a better position.
Yeah, exactly. And I think with the wages that Muani's on, I don't think that'll be an issue for Spurs.
Yeah, I think that'll be fine. I think how much is he on? 150.
He's on like between 150, 160.
Yeah, we can definitely match it. That's for sure. I can't see us going too far over because our highest paid player is Sonny on 200. So I don't see Spurs giving him more than Son. But I maybe a bit of an increase, 180 or so. And if Juve are really struggling on that aspect and need help from PSG to cover those wages, I think that gives us a really strong position. And I think that gives us the leg up. Obviously, they want an obligation to buy, and we're only going for an option. But I also think Juve don't want an obligation to buy either. They also just want an option. So it looks like from that front, no one has the advantage when it comes to the structure of the deal. So I think Tottenham are in a good position if Juve need to sell. Now, the problem is there's rumours that Vlahovic could be leaving in January. If he does leave, all of a sudden I think that gives Juve the upper hand, because all of a sudden they have the money probably, and they can match us all and probably blow us out of the water if that happens. So I think, again, just like in January, it always happens, these transfer dominoes. You have to, once one falls, a lot falls in place. But let's just hope we can get this deal done before anything happens with Juve and Vlahovic. With
the rumours of Timo leaving, with the rumours of Kolo Muani coming in, similar wages, get one in, get one out. Is there no smoke without fire? Is this just coincidence, or what do you reckon? And the hamstring injury.
I don't think it's coincidence. Hamstring injury, I don't know, but I don't think it's coincidence that rumours of Werner could be leaving with Muani coming in. I don't think that's a coincidence at all, because I do think we do need one in, one out, to be honest, in terms of the squad, unless you're thinking about keeping Werner but then take him out the European squad. So unless that's the case, you do kind of have to get rid of him. So I don't think it's a coincidence at all.
Yeah, but let's see how it rumbles on. But L'Equipe do claim that Spurs have now made an official loan move for Kolo Muani, with a loan with a purchase option. But finally, let's talk about your favourite publication again, Fichajes. And they say Chelsea and Tottenham are now considering a January bid for Josh Majer of West Brom.
That confirms it's definitely not happening now.
Second top goal scorer in the Championship at the moment, Josh Majer, 12 goals. Fancy it?
Look, it sounds all right. All I remember him, to be honest, mostly is from the Sunderland Till I Die documentary when he was a youngster at Sunderland. Clearly he's doing all right in the Championship, but he's only on 12 goals. It's not like he's scoring bucket loads, albeit you said he's 12th second top goal scorer, so clearly he's doing well, but it's not like he's completely smashing it. It seems anyway. He seems to be doing well, though. Sure. I'd rather Muani, to be honest, or someone.
Considering in England his best goal tally is 3. Now at 12, it is pretty much smashing it for his standards.
Yeah, I guess he's doing all right, but he's 26. He's not like a youngster. He's doing really well. He's like, I don't know, doesn't seem like a deal that makes a lot of sense to me. But
to be fair, back in 18-19, he got 15 goals in 24 games for Sunderland, but ever since then in English football, he's never got above 3, and this year he's on 12 goals in a West Brom side. So look, I'm not really interested in it, but we thought we'd bring you the rumours anyway. But that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all the news stories we've brought to you today, and let's hope that something can be done with Randall Kolo Muani sooner rather than later.
A new thing.
Oh, let's bring that up. What does it say?
Tottenham are amongst clubs who have shown interest in Nice forward Gassand. Tottenham are looking to improve their forward options and are weighing up their bids. Offers of more than 20 million would test the resolve of the French club, from Matt Barlow.
To be honest, I've never heard of him.
Evan Gassand of Nice.
Looks to be smashing at the moment. I mean, 8 goals, 4 assists in 17 games this season, but of late, his recent form is really good. 3 goals and 2 assists in his last 5 games.
24 years of age.
23, it says.
23. Apologies. Can play kind of on the wing and as well. It looks like the kind of player that we need. Someone who can play on the wing and up front as well. So
maybe he's the backup option to Randall Muani.
Interesting. Evan Gassand. Let me see where he's been playing majority of his season. Because that's what Paul O'Keefe was saying. We're looking for a versatile forward who can play up front.
I think he's been playing on the right wing.
He can play up front and on the wing as well. So I think if he's a versatile forward, that actually does make a lot of sense. So he's playing centre forward 12 games, right wing 7 games, and left wing 3 games.
Wow.
But his best performances have been on the right wing. Right wing, 7 appearances, 5 goals, 2 assists. So he's definitely been a lot better on the right wing.
In terms of a player that's, 23 years of age. Last season, he played 34 games for Nice, 6 goals, 0 assists. This year, he's already got 8 goals and 4 assists, so he's improved on that already.
Is he a left footer? How do I see what he is forward?
You can see it on Transfer Market.
Because if he's a left footer on the right, that could... No, he's right-footed. Okay. But still, that's quite an interesting one. Because clearly we might be looking at a player who the data we think really matches up with, and maybe he's starting to really kind of explode, potentially, Evan Gassand.
Well, that is the latest rumour hot off the press for you guys. And now that is your Tottenham update, and let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as we move on to the